These rules that I'm about to talk about are going to be the most important things financially that you will ever hear. So it's very important that you watch this video 1, 2, maybe 3 times to really grasp this. What is up, you guys? Pete DiCarlo here, and today I want to talk about the most important fundamental rules of money. Now before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe. If you haven't already, join the public Discord. I'm giving away the first 50 slots entirely for free, and then it's going to become $30 a month. I post all my trades there. I interact live with everybody in that group. It's a great group to be a part of if you want to start learning how to day and swing trade. As well, linked below will be our public Facebook group. If you're a part of that, you get to interact with our amazing community. I post everything that I'm looking at, all of my trades and all of my profits and losses. Also, you will get all of this content on YouTube first. Now, these rules that I'm about to talk about are going to be the most important things financially that you will ever hear. So it's very important that you watch this video 1, 2, maybe 3 times to really grasp this. This isn't just information for people who want to become investors. This is information for anybody who wants to stop living paycheck to paycheck and start building some serious wealth. My first golden rule of money is to understand the difference between an asset and a liability. If you guys haven't read Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Rover Kiyosaki, I will link the book below. The main thing that he goes over in that book is assets versus liabilities, and it's pretty much a staple that everybody should read. But essentially, in short, an asset is something that puts money into your pocket every single month, while a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket every month. And where this gets a little gray is that people think they have assets, but really they have liabilities. An asset is something like stocks and bonds, a rental property, or any kind of investment. A liability would be something like a brand new iPhone, clothes, a nice car, or even the house that you live in. And yes, while a lot of people think that a house is an asset because they live in it and they're not paying for nothing by renting, it's really not an asset. And think of it, because if you're renting, right, and the hot water heater explodes, you just make a phone call and the landlord pays that. If the heater blows up, you call the landlord, he fixes that. If you own a house, it is a liability. You're gonna spend so much money keeping up with that property, so much money fixing that property, and who knows, maybe in 30 years when all of the appreciation happens and all of the money that you've been paying, because you've been paying that mortgage the entire time, that's why it's a liability, all of that money might be gone. Look at 2008. Some prices of houses now, a decade later, are nowhere near what people bought them for 10 years ago. And some other gray area products would be like technology. So say you buy a new iPhone, that's a liability. Or you buy a new computer or a new Xbox, that's a liability. But say you're a business like me and I buy a camera or I buy a new iPhone, that is an asset to me. The reason that that's an asset for me is because I create content and courses and YouTube videos that puts money into my pocket. The second golden rule is cash flow. Something that you have to remember is that cash flow is king, whether you're a business or we're just talking about your personal finances. If you do not have cash flow every month, you are going to have some serious problems. The way to find cash flow in a business is to take gross operating income and subtract that from your expenses. That will equal your net operating income or cash flow. Now, you can do the same thing with your personal finances. Take how much money you make a month after taxes, subtract all of your expenses, and what's left over is your cash flow. If you don't have anything left over, that's a serious problem. Now, in the future, I'll go over like how much of your paycheck you should spend on housing, how much you should spend on a car, how much you should spend on food. But for now, just know what cash flow is, know how to find it, and start working on bringing that cash flow up, whether that's making more money or spending less money. The next golden rule is to invest and not save. I was told my whole life that I need to save and that if I save my money, I will eventually have money to retire, and that's not the truth. I mean, think about it. If you were to save like $10,000 a year and put that in a savings account where you're getting at most 1% return a year, that means every year on that $10,000, you're making $100. Now wait, you're also gonna have to add inflation to the mix, which is on average 1.94% that you're losing. So that means that every year, if you're making $100 off of $10,000, you're losing $200 to inflation. which means that net, you're really losing $100 saving. And let's be honest, nobody's gonna save their way to $1 million. You know how hard that would be? And in the realm of cash flow, like we were talking about earlier, you need to have an insane amount of cash flow so that you can invest and that you can eventually retire. And the way to do that, in my opinion, is to make more money, not spend less money. And a great way to make more money is not saving, it's investing. And one of the easiest ways you can invest is by getting a Roth IRA, by getting a Vanguard index fund account, or just by buying SPY. And that's it, guys. Those 3 rules will change the way that you think and use money. And that is how you will eventually invest and build your way to financial success. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below for any feedback or any ways that you're gonna implement these rules into your life. As well, join the Discord. There's only about 47 spots left, so hurry up, guys. After that, the price is going up to $30 a month. Until next time, peace.